New member shoutout to the Black Knight 06. I wish you a quick recovery on that scratch of yours. And also be sure to check out Dragon Ball Infinity author Jordan Durham's brand new original manga, Oroboros Gen Z, using the link in the pinned comment. And if there is no link, kindly remind me because I'm forgetful. After removing his own tail and having his left arm maimed, Taima stands up against the pharaoh. As their stare down ensues, something from the sky interrupts the situation. A cloaked figure landing directly between the pair. Noob beckons who the individual is, revealing his face. Mirai recognizes him as the creator of Heki, the Ancient One, the god of this world, who announces to all this has gone far enough. While the villain looks at this man in confusion, chorting he has no idea who he is. But the mysterious intruder insists. A part of him knows exactly who he is. Shocking our heroes, the alleged god explains, introducing himself as Garua, a being not from this planet. When he arrived here, this world was nothing more than a barren wasteland. However, it had the most energy and potential of any planet in this universe. For a very long time, he ruled everything here, and the form they see before him is not his original incarnation. Pointing to Genzai, or Pharaoh Noob, he scolds he in particular would do well to listen carefully. Cutting to another cloaked figure, while his hawk-like form allows him to easily consume solar energy. When taking on the appearance of a ram, he can manipulate and consume life energy. Garua elaborates on the tale of his origin. The first generation of his children were shapeshifters, in his own image, formless in nature. After coming of age, they would manifest their own appearance based on unique choice and preference. Again, spotting a few we've seen in other stories, at least in terms of aesthetics. Directing his offspring to lead their people into an era of utopia, nothing short of perfection, and he would allow them to board his ship to teach them the knowledge of the gods. As the protector and preserver of the information within each universe is, of course, vitally important and must be chosen carefully. But one day, one of his children would murder the other out of sheer jealousy. Even more, his fallen son was in fact a tremendously great ruler and did not deserve such a fate. So he was rewarded the opportunity to work in the afterlife with the permission of the other deities. This fiercely angered Noob because the afterlife had been his personal getaway, also making his other son, Sunset, murderer, even more jealous. Sunset would then plan to block out the sun itself, knowing his father required to consume its energy to maintain his own power. Little did he know, the source of his own strength was the energy produced when the sun's light bounces off the moon. In other words, his ill-thought attempt only managed to impair them both. In his weakened state, his rogue offspring conspired with Noob, merging with one another to maximize their strength. But Noob, having power over the soul, tricked Sunset and dominated the fused state. But together, they were unstoppable, until another of his many sons volunteered to merge with Garua himself and give them a fighting chance. United, and with the power of the disc, his malevolent kin were defeated, sealing their combined soul into a well of water above this world's entrance to the afterlife. His monologue putting the pharaoh in a state of silence. Again, stunning our heroes as well. Continuing, Garua tells unless their soul were to be completely destroyed or reincarnated, there was always a chance Noob would return, using either his source of power, the souls of the dead, or a new source he gained when he merged with Sunset, as the latter thought himself something of a god of destruction, also feeling it was his job to assure souls were reincarnated. But once fused with Noob, he hungered for the souls instead. So many eternal lives were taken because of this. The merged soul could not be destroyed by traditional means. All life on this planet had been washed away, or so it seemed. When Kakano Kame returned here and drank from the fountain, he saw his fate and was satisfied. Repopulating this world was his destiny. Then Garua reveals possibly the biggest secret of all. He himself is responsible for dividing Kakano Kame's life energy into the various tribes and people of this planet, granting their variety of abilities, shaping them, watching them grow. He is responsible for all life that has ever existed here. Mirai, thinking aloud, comments how the hieroglyphs appear to tell a much different story, actually inferring Garua feared Kakano Kame, and the only way to defeat him was to divide his energy amongst new creations. But the deity smirks, those are merely a false record of the past, which were put there to sway the inhabitants against him, should they ever encounter a particular scorned child of his slithering through this world, insisting this planet is, and always has been, his own experiment. Shouting he's had enough with a history lesson, as if he would ever trust a word this man has to say. Grunting he is well aware of who Lord Noob is, but he has granted him with strength beyond imagination. Admitting the two of them indeed lust for power and immortality, but they deserve it, and soon they will have it. Guru is scoffing, that's how he controls Genzai, using the Pharaoh's darkness and emotions to puppeteer him. Charging! The deity sneers the feline can't attack, because within him, Noob knows they will lose. Proving correct. The villain turns tail and runs away. Watching him disappear on the horizon, Guru announces he will now be returning high into the ionosphere, as he doesn't rely on the sun for only power, but at this point, life itself. Mirai notes Genzai is heading towards the dark side of the planet, and now is the time to make their move. Hearing a nearby rumble, a giant ship emerges from the sand, just as the god spoke of previously. Boarding it, he calls to the others he will return when needed. In thought this entire time, Brood announces his plan, requesting Mirai take him and Russo to Alyaban to rescue all of the innocents, and Riki can transport them to safety. Russo shouts for him to wait a minute, only to thank Taima, giving him back his cloak. As the others teleport away, the effects of Taima's injuries finally become apparent. Quickly healing the warrior, he gets back up, and Mirai instructs him to go to the Fountain of the Gods and destroy the machine beneath it that is killing this planet, as his own selfishness has gone on long enough, and it's time to put an end to this pursuit of immortality, believing his people have become everything he wished they would, so there is no further reason to remain. Telling his ally to dive into the fountain and swim down towards the core of the planet. Once there, the only way to destroy the machine is to remove the energy from the Ark. It's what parasitically takes the Genki from the planet and concentrates it. But he needs to be wary. The only reason he himself has not done this is because he wouldn't survive. But Taima will. Although the aftermath of removing the Ark is uncertain, the energy compacted there has been building over time, having the potential to destroy everyone, causing Taima to question what makes Mirai believe he will survive this. Confident, his mentor tells when he and Genzai consumed the water, it did a lot more than provide the pair with a long life. It also heightened their unique abilities. Sure, it'll do the same for him, reminding the young Saiyan he is strong and he believes in him. The plan agreed upon, there's no time to waste. Taking off as fast as he can travel, not long passes before he reaches the island where he first met Mirai, way back as a young child. Stepping over to the open water. Only a few more moments pass before he spots what he's come for. Swimming over to the glimmering enclosure. Sure enough, it's the machine. Its immense power pushing him back. The warrior is also running out of air. Prying the lid, it won't budge. So he tries the only other way he can think of. Causing all its power to be released at once. The force of which every inhabitant of this world feels. And as things look as bad as they could be for our hero, something mysterious happens as the enclosure is reduced to a particular tree. But due to the exposure of divine energy, he has not only survived, but has proven Mirai correct, and has entered the state of false Super Saiyan God. While back at Alyaban, the Pharaoh has forced his army to bear the mark of the Nubian army. After experiencing the mark himself, Brood sees them for what they truly are inside, bloodthirsty jackals. Brood's wife and child happily greeting him after so much time apart. Even Russo is finally reunited with his father. As in the city of Zu, everyone is brought to safety from Alyaban. Mirai compliments Brood on a battle well fought, admitting he has much potential yet to be tapped. He knows somewhere he can go to train to reach the next level, inquiring if he'd like some guidance. And even the Brood himself knows he must get stronger for his family, for his people. While he's away, Mirai offers to take his family somewhere safe. It may do them some good to see a peaceful and thriving society for a change. After Brood gets some well-needed rest, they can focus on his training, before turning to Russo. Clearly catching him off guard and being addressed, he instructs him to take his people and go with his father to the tavern. There is someone to help rally his tribe against the pharaoh. Speaking of whom, Genzai has finally reached the darkest corner of the planet. Sensing what he's come for, he touches down, slowly entering a cold, damp cavern. He lays eyes on his brother of a past life, a particular scorned child of Garua.